We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world.
Napheesa Collier didn't give an exit interview. She detonated one. The kind that flips a whole league on its head. Minnesota's franchise star looked straight at the cameras and called out the top office, by name, and the fallout hasn't stopped since.
Had an opportunity to listen to Fee, and I just want to say I was honestly disgusted by the comments that Kathy made.
If you're here for the unfiltered version, subscribe. And if you plan to ride with us through the next meltdown, definitely subscribe. Let's get this straight. Collier isn't some fringe voice. She's a perennial All-WNBA, the heartbeat of the Lynx, and a vice president of the Players Union. When she reads a prepared statement and says the W has the worst leadership in the world, that's not noise, that's a warning shot. And it landed. Hard. Context matters. This came days after a brutal no-call, an ankle injury, and a semi-final that spiraled into chaos. Head coach Cheryl Reeve ejected, then fined and suspended for torching the officiating. The temperature was already boiling. Collier made it boil over. Here's the core of what she laid out. Calmly, on paper, on purpose. She said league leadership is tone-deaf and dismissive. She said there's a lack of accountability. She said the inconsistency in officiating isn't just bad optics, it's dangerous. And when she got hurt, she says the commissioner didn't call. Not a text. Nothing. Then she went further. Behind-the-scenes stuff. Collier alleged that in past meetings, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert brushed off players' concerns, calling criticism of referees the talk of losers.
The league has a buzzword that they've rolled out as talking points for the CBA as to why they can't pay the players what we're worth. That word is sustainability. But what's truly unsustainable is keeping a good product on the floor while allowing officials to lose control of games. Fans see it every night. Coaches, both winning and losing, point it out every night in pregame and postgame media. Yet leadership just issues fines and looks the other way.
And telling stars they should be grateful for the platform and money they make off the court. Collier's point wasn't subtle. If you want world-class basketball, start treating world-class athletes like partners. Now, to be fair, Engelbert responded, disappointed in how she was portrayed, reaffirming her commitment to the players and the growth of the league. That's on the record. But the storm had already jumped the shoreline. Social media. Nuclear. Tyrese Halliburton hit repost with a single word. Phew. Malika Andrews said it's worth listening to every word. The video clipped, captioned, dissected, this wasn't just a statement, it was a rallying cry. And then came the players. Aya Wilson didn't hedge. She said she was honestly disgusted by what was alleged and that she's riding with Fee. That's the reigning face of the finals weighing in within hours of clinching. Translation. The locker rooms heard Collier. Loud. Let's rewind the tape. The Lynx just finished a season that had Collier in the MVP conversation and the team grinding through the bracket. Then, the missed call, the injury, Reeves' eruption, the suspension, and finally, Collier sitting down with a written statement. That sequencing matters. It's why this didn't feel like venting. It felt like an indictment. So what exactly is she indicting? 1. Officiating that moves the goalposts from quarter to quarter. 2. A top office that, in her view, treats player feedback as background noise. 3. A culture that celebrates broadcast deals and brand heat, but fumbles the day-to-day care of the people who make the product. Collier said the quiet part out loud. Growth without accountability is a house of cards. This is also about timing. The CBA picture is looming. Collier isn't freelancing here. She's WNBPA leadership. You don't throw this match unless you're ready to force a conversation across the table. And that table's already stacked with issues. Pay structure for rookies becoming instant supernovas, travel standards, and real mechanisms to police officiating quality. Don't miss the injury piece. She tied the league's laissez-faire attitude to player safety, arguing that the inconsistency isn't just annoying. It's unsafe, it's negligent, it damages integrity. Those are heavy words. And given the sequence we just lived through, the audience didn't need convincing visuals. They'd already seen them. And yes, the grateful line hit a raw nerve. When a commissioner is alleged to have said players should be grateful for the platform, while the league's biggest draws are debating whether their compensation matches their value, fans hear one message: We love the spotlight, but we won't pay the electric bill. That's why the clip spread like gasoline. Here's where the story gets bigger than a soundbite. Engelbert has presided over undeniable momentum. Attendance, ratings, partnerships. That's real. But Collier's argument is that growth with gaps still breaks games and bodies. You want the finals to sing? Fix the mic at the source. That means standards, accountability, and communication that goes player first. Back to the floor level. Reeves' penalty wasn't just a fine, it was a flashpoint that validated Collier's thesis. Speak up about safety and consistency, and the hammer falls on you, not on the conditions. Whether you agree or not, that's the optic that traveled. And the power players piling in? That matters too. Wilson's mic drop support, Halliburton's viral nod, Andrews' amplification. It created a cross-league echo chamber where silence started to look like a position. The court of public opinion opened for business. And business boomed. So what happens next? If you're leadership, you can't put this back in the bottle with a one-paragraph statement. You need a process. Transparent officiating reviews, player league touchpoints that aren't PR theater, and consequences that calibrate up the chain when standards fail. If you're the union, you just watched your VP set the tone. Expect those items on page 1 of the bargaining agenda. Let's talk risk. Collier knew she was courting a fine and a media scrum. She did it anyway. Why? Because if the league is going to market the heat, it has to manage the heat. Stars can't be asked to carry the brand on Friday and carry the doubt on Sunday. That contradiction is what she torched. And yes, this is also about the new economy of the W. Rookies who arrive as day-one rainmakers, veterans who have built the bedrock, and a commissioner tasked with harmonizing it all in real time. If "be grateful" is even adjacent to the message, you're handing your critics the headline and your rivals the recruiting pitch. The bigger truth: you can't separate the product from the people. When the face of a franchise says, on the record, that leadership is failing the athletes, that's a temperature check you don't ignore. It's a call to fix what's fixable, fast. Bottom line: Napheesa Collier didn't just speak for herself. She spoke for a locker room culture that's tired of mixed signals. We love you on the billboard, deal with it at the scorer's table. The ball is at midcourt now. Whistles in the commissioner's hand. The next sound we hear, silence or strategy, decides how this chapter gets written. Your turn. Was Collier right to go scorched earth? Or should this have stayed behind closed doors? Drop your take in the comments. If you want the unfiltered WNBA story as it happens, not weeks later, hit subscribe. This saga's just getting started. ChatGPT can make mistakes. OpenAI doesn't use IES's workspace.